a dump truck off of an auction, and they had all the plow stuff and everything on it, which is cool and all, but we want to use it for just a dump truck for the spring. So this winter our goal is to take off everything, lighten the load a little bit better, and maybe put a new box on it. But Nels, our goal today is to take off some bolts so we can start taking off some of the plow, probably that wing too.
About how you'd expect. So a little update on the 2014 Western Star. In the video I was doing some cutting of some bolts and stuff that were a little too rusty to get off, and we are I did get it off. The camera lady had to go inside while I was doing all this, so this is kind of the aftermath of what we have going on. Got another little snippet here. We didn't quite finish filming, but I got this pulled off the other night, the wing. The plates will still get removed. There's one here, one on the other side. This mount bracket will get removed as well, and we'll also be taking off this belly blade because all this weighs a lot, and we want to be able to haul as much dirt, gravel, material that we can. And it's kind of a deal where this limits the capacity so much having this stuff on the truck. We do have a plow for the front of this as well, but I'll be most likely during the summer this mount will come off. Here's that other bracket I was talking about, that'll come off. And then there's a whole bunch of hydraulic lines in here, and a lot of that's going to come out. There's a whole bunch of valve bodies set up for this truck because it had so many different hydraulic functions, and we're only going to keep the hoist function as well as the front plow up, down, left, right function. So a lot of that stuff's going to get taken off. As you can see here, the rams is broken off of the hoist. Isn't really the style hoist that I'd like. So down the road we might end up putting like a telescopic hoist and box on this truck. But for now, I'll get that all ground up here eventually, cleaned up, and I'll weld it back together. You can see here that this side has been done or redone at least once before, and it's kind of, you know, not how I would have done it, but if that works, if it works, it works, I guess. But yeah, so got a little bit of work to do on it before it'll be usable. As you can see, it's missing the tailgate. We did get a tailgate with it, but the tailgate's damaged, so I have to do some fixing on it. I got to cut an ear off, and the ear actually takes, and I believe it was the passenger side that's bent on the tailgate that we have, but it just goes up here and hooks in there, pin goes through. Well, the place that the truck came from, they robbed the tailgate off of this truck, and we got the junk tailgate because they forgot to put a pin in and ended up bending it. Turned out alright because they didn't have to even give us a tailgate with it, so that was nice that we got one. And I have the part coming to fix it, and we'll have that done. The box on this truck is pretty small. It's only 14 foot long, I'm figuring it's like a 10 to 12 yard box, so I mean the capacity isn't really there compared to our Peterbilt that we have, but I think we'll be able to haul like a comparable load weight-wise. Hopefully, once I have all the extra steel removed off of the frame here that we don't need. Otherwise, I mean, it's a pretty nice truck for what we paid for it. It's only got 82,000 miles on it. And it's a lot newer than our Peterbilt. This is I believe it's a 14 on the title. Air ride cab. This truck also has an automatic, which is something that we were looking for because I don't know if I'm gonna sit and drive it. If I have to drive it all day, I want to be comfortable. But yeah, that's where we are as of right now. We're gonna keep kind of plucking away on it and see where we get. All right, so we're gonna try to get the bolts off for this. Nope, it's not gonna go the way I want it to though, because I'll have to go from, I don't even know, underneath or something maybe. Because there is a big cross member across here. And there's not even like a good way to get to those bolts. Well, that's a bummer. Had a dirtier, or like a grubby sweatshirt on here, and I let the doggos out, so probably won't see them wandering around because they're not that tall, but you never know. There's one. There's another one. Where's that gonna go? Right there. Comes. Oh, she got stuck. It's all right. I'll get there. I'll get her. Oh. Spot there. It's extra greasy because that's where all the oil and stuff settled over the years. Right here in this spot, so that section of line is nasty. Real nasty. easy. These lines come over to valve body. I thought they would have been a little more centralized, you know, in the same valve body per function. Let me. Yeah, well, I guess maybe they. No, they're not. I don't know. I find that odd, but I guess I don't know a whole lot about hydraulics. So it is what it is. So the plan here is going to be, I'll end up pulling, I don't even know how many lines are going to get pulled out of this truck total, but the only functions that I'm actually wanting to keep are for the bed hoist and then the front plow functions. So we have, looks like 6+ lines that run to the back that aren't aren't something that we really need to keep unless we're going to put a salter on this truck. But I have a salter from our Peterbilt, so I guess I could leave it on there, but that's just asking to rot everything out, I think. And what the county actually did was they had slide-in salters, so I'm not sure if those were actually hydraulic V-box salters or if they were ran electric or what. But it does have the hydraulics ran to the back of the truck for a salter. That's what So what we're going to be doing, and I'll get to the other side of the truck here, and I'm pulling a bunch of these lines off of this valve body, and I'll go to a shop, well, store, it's a store really, but local to us, and they sell all kinds of oddball, like tools, electric, obviously hydraulic. It's where I normally go to have my hydraulics lines made. I buy grease from them. You can buy oil from them, and it's just a little mom and pop type shop, and they're great. The prices are decent. I mean, you can buy. It's a tool store. It's like a specialty store, and it's just, you know, try to keep some of the business local if you can afford it, I guess, which isn't always an option, but that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go grab my wrenches and everything, and then I'll pull those lines off that I had, and we'll see. Maybe we'll run up to the store here and see if Josh has the stuff that we need. And if you're local to the St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, or Taylor's Falls area, the shop is called Arden Specialties, and like, you know, I mean, it's like a Fastenal, but I mean, I would say he's got more stuff than Fastenal has. So it's something to check out if you're local to the area. Not that potentially any of you are, but who knows. You can always order online too, I guess. Yeah, you see how I would think that the lines that are in the same function would be on the same valve body, but they're actually not. So I just think that that's kind of odd. When you're doing any work with hydraulics, electric, whatever, just make sure it's off. You don't want any pressure on the lines, because one of these lines could be holding thousands of psi of pressure, cut your finger right off. It could inject you with oil, and most likely you're going to die from that. So you do want to be careful when you're doing this kind of stuff. My dad always told me that you should never be not afraid. Equipment doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care if you live or die. It's equipment, and you should always use caution. There was actually a guy right over in St. Croix that was working on his skid steer, and he unfortunately was using the hydraulics of the skid steer to hold it up while he was working underneath it. He released a line and he crushed himself to death. So it's just one of them things where you want to use some common sense and some safety precautions. I do have the back of the box. I'm working under the box. I have the back of it blocked up just in case the hydraulics were to let go. So just remember, safety first. Nice thing about this side of these lines is they're all greasy, so there ain't really any rust. Come off a lot better than the other side. It was all rotty because of all the salt getting kicked up on them. But one of the nice things when you're doing, I'm taking all this stuff off, so it's nice to get it so that you got the hydraulic lines, spares, whatever, but you can cut them if you have to, because I'm not planning on reusing this. I'm not going to have all this. I don't need all these extra hydraulic lines or systems. Circuits, I should say. I call them circuits. That makes sense. The more lines that come out of this, the more easier it'll be to kind of work on as you go. So there'll be less stuff to work around. There you go. Bam. Yeah, see. We're like 15/16 here. Or it could be bigger. Nope. thinking it's more like an hour, so I'll be back again. So what I'll do once I get these out is I'll go up to this is going to be difficult, man. How's it going to be? What if we move this one out of the way? Here we go. Alright. I'll go up and I will get plugs that go into here. And it looks like they're probably like a Boss O-ring fitting, so I'll just get a bunch of them. Yeah. The big deal with plugging these is if I don't plug them, even when I'm running different functions, it still wants to squirt oil out. So that just doesn't sound like a good deal, right? What is he? He's in a remesh pen. Yep. I mean, a guy could probably, well, I'm not even going to say it, but you could probably plug these yourself, but I'd rather just get the right plugs, have the stuff in case you did ever want to add some hydraulic stuff back on here. And this guy, he's going to be difficult. What do we have on the other side? Oh, hurt my feet. So far it's looking like they're all going to be the same plug. Let's see. So that goes to this thing. And that goes down to the turntable. So, let's see. That one. I'm guessing So these two, see, now that makes sense. These ones are on the same valve body. Well, I guess those were on the same spot too. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention. So it does work like that. But yeah, these two are what I believe runs at least the up and down of, where does that one go? The up and down or side to side of the turntable for the belly mounted blade. But we'll tear a little bit more into that as we go. And those also go down here, so. When I kind of was moving the camera around, you seen that there was a couple like valve body looking deals that were out on the frame rails, and I think that those are actually also part of the turntable, so I think that can all go away, so that'll cut even more weight down. I'm going to count and kind of see how many plugs I think we're going to need, and we'll figure out how much it's going to be. Hopefully it's not more than a couple bucks a plug, but so it looks like we're going to probably end up grabbing about 15 plugs. Yep, 15 plugs, at least as far as us plugging off this size. I don't know that we have to plug off any larger ones yet, so that'll kind of be a down the road deal here. You can kind of see me, but this is what that Boss O-ring fitting looks like. And I'll take this one with just so I know I'm getting exactly what I need for the plugs. And yeah, we'll kind of continue along. I just want to touch on this belly blade. So the belly blade is wider than the truck is. When I built the pull shed, we skimped out on the width of the door. I thought that 12 feet would be wide enough. I should have had 14 to 16 foot wide, but I also didn't know that we were going to be starting our own excavation business or going in this direction. So, and even at that, we did, we worked on farm equipment and stuff, so I should have planned bigger anyways, but at the time, you always want to try to do everything cheaper or the cheapest that you can, and that's just usually doesn't work out. So if you're going in a direction or think you may go in that direction, you should put the money towards it so that you are going to be correct and you're not going to be doing projects twice or having to rebuild, because it's a bummer. So I'm back. I ran up to Arden Specialties I was telling you about earlier, and I got the plugs. Alright, so this is the original This is the fitting that was in there that the hose went to, and this is the plug. As I said, pretty sure it's considered Boss O-ring, and that's what's going to go into the valve body and plug off the hydraulics from squirting oil when you run the other hydraulic systems. So, out with the old and in with the new. I don't know exactly how tight they have to be. Since they have the O-rings on them, probably don't want to over-tighten them. And when I was up at Art and Specialties, Josh didn't have as many as what I needed, but he had enough that I can plug what I've taken off so far. Well, this is odd. So our next problem, somebody, also known as me, has misplaced my 1-inch wrench.